Kids don't really have a place to be kids anymore, and it sucks. I get a lot of messages from kids asking how they can learn more, what they can do. And my response is always like, just be a kid, man. Like, I learned this years ago, right? And it was actually important because the way I learned it was just in classrooms, learning about different countries and this kind of stuff. But I didn't learn about, like, but it was in a classroom environment where it wasn't all consuming.
And if it's one thing I'm not feeling, is how fast these kids are trying to grow up. And granted, when I was growing up, we couldn't wait to be grown. At the same time, slow your roll. Thing I heard most growing up, stay in a child's place. Real quick with it. Stay in a child's place,
Is it just me or Gen Alpha is growing too fast? My youngest brother is 11, and I asked him, "Oh, what kind of cartoons are you watching right now?" And he's looking at me like I just spoke Chinese or something. I remember we used to watch Cartoon Network and Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. I was in a whole different country, but we still had those accessible to us. We also had animes. I was an anime girl. But nowadays, they just watch YouTube and they stream, and it's weird. Is it weird? Or is it just me?
We've been telling ourselves the same story for 20 years now. Kids these days are growing up too fast. You've heard it. I've said it. Every think piece, every aunt at Thanksgiving, every comment section. But that's not what's happening. Kids aren't growing up too fast. They're skipping childhood completely. Boys and girls, both of them. There is no in between anymore. There's no phase where it's okay to be awkward. There's no version of being 9 that looks any different from being 19. There's no stores. There's no magazines. There's no role models. No place a 10-year-old could go that wasn't built for someone twice her age or twice his age. We took the middle out. And then we blame them for falling through the gaps. Because here's the question no one is really asking. Why does a child feel the need to be anything other than a child?
I love when kids look like kids. I'm so sorry to say it, and you can call me a party pooper, this, that, and the third, but a lady came in today into my job and literally bought her child a freaking lip plumper, and the girl was like 6 years old. Mind you, she didn't even know what she was picking up. She was like, oh, I just want this because of the color. And I literally told the woman, I'm like, ma'am, this is a lip plumper? Like, hello, are we cool? And she was like, yeah, she wants it.
There used to be physical real-world places designed for one specific human, the in-between kid, the 9 to 12-year-old, the kid who was not a baby anymore, but is absolutely not a teenager. If you grew up in the 90s or the 2000s, you know the list. For the girls, Justice, there was Limited 2, there was Claire's, there was Aeropostale. The pink section that wasn't really for adults yet, but pretended to be. For the boys, the GameStop after school, the action figure aisle at Toys R Us, the skate shop, the Pokemon card section, Hot Topic if you were in your phase, the Hollister with the cologne so strong that you could smell it in the parking lot. These places were full of stuff that were, honestly kind of ugly. Spiky rubber earrings, glitter eyeshadow with the foam applicator. Body spray that smelled like a candy factory exploded. Cargo shorts, frosted tips. Best friend necklaces that broke in half by Tuesday. But the ugliness was the point. That stage of life is supposed to look a little ridiculous. You figure out who you are by trying on 12 different versions of a person and throwing 11 of them away. The flavored lip smacker phase exists so that the no makeup phase had somewhere to come from. The frosted tips and the puka shelves existed so you can grow into being a normal person who dresses themselves. Now look at a mall today. Justice, gone. Limited 2, gone. Claire's filed bankruptcy. Toys R Us, gone. The toy aisle is mostly fashion dolls and licensed merch. There is nothing at the mall for a 10-year-old.
I'm not one to fearmonger, but I seriously am worried about the future. Where do you draw the line between fear-mongering and hey people, we need to do something about this? I've been working with teenagers for nearly 25 years. I've never been this concerned about teenagers and young people. And I say that with each passing year. Because each year it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. If you listen to what teachers are saying about students and kids, especially teachers that have been teaching a long time, Y'all, it's scary. It's terrifying. Like parents turn to me because like I'm the expert in this area, and up until recently, I felt very confident in being able to help a lot of these kids and these families and these parents. These kids now, these young people, they are pretty much just giving up entirely on everything. They don't see any hope for a positive future. They don't believe that anything that they ever do is going to make a difference. And they are just completely checking out.
I say this respectfully. Can we bring back the things for kids like the music, the TV shows, the clothes? It's getting bad. It's getting real bad that the kids just want to be grown so bad. I know we as kids couldn't wait to grow up, but we still embraced like Hannah Montana and That's So Raven. And we had that and that we craved that. We literally got out of school, couldn't wait to put those shows on. These kids can't wait to watch baddies. And I know we was watching Bad Girls Club, but that was really something on the side for us. You know what I'm saying?
She is too old for the play place. She is allegedly too young for Sephora, but there she is, buying a $90 retinol cream that her skin doesn't even need. He is too old for Hot Wheels. He is allegedly too young for the cologne counter, but there he is, an 11-year-old picking out an $80 bottle of Bleu de Chanel because a streamer on TikTok told him that's what high-value men wear. Tiger Beat, J14, and magazines gone. Nickelodeon magazines, the entire kid magazine ecosystem gone. Those magazines were how a 9-year-old learned what kids 1 or 2 years older than them were into. There was a ladder. You climbed it one rung at a time. And the ladder is gone, so where did they go? They go online where everyone else is. And on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the people on their screen is not 10. They're 19. They're 23. They're 28. The platforms aren't even supposed to host them. The legal floor is 13. So every creator they imitate is older than them by default. Every ad they see is calibrated for someone older than them by default. There is no rung between them and adulthood. They just jump. If you don't build them a room, they will move into yours. Here's the part the comment section keeps trying to tell us and we keep not listening. We bullied every teen idol we've ever had. Justin Bieber was a punchline for years. One Direction got mocked. Fifth Harmony, JoJo Siwa, the entire Disney bench. Every single one of them became a joke the second they were popular with 12-year-olds. We treated being a kid's favorite as proof that you weren't a real artist. And then we turn around and ask why teenagers aren't making music for kids anymore. Why would they? We made a career suicide. We didn't just remove role models. We made it embarrassing to be one. The path used to be you start on a kids network, you graduate into pop stardom, and along the way, you give the next batch of 9-year-olds someone age appropriate to look up to. That whole pipeline is broken. Disney burned it down trying to keep Miley a child forever. The internet finished the job by knocking everyone who tried to step in. So the kids who used to scream for One Direction, kids who, by the way, were never asked to bark on command at a concert, were never serenaded with songs about adult relationships, were never called good girls by a 26-year-old man with a microphone. Those kids now have whoever is trending. For the girls, that's Somber, who has been filmed making teen girls bark at him. This isn't kids having fun. This is kids being pulled into something they don't understand yet. It's Sabrina Carpenter, who is a fantastic adult artist making fantastic adult music. And yes, parents, that's what it is. Listen to the album before you buy the ticket. It's Cardi B, a grown woman who is not, by her own admission, in the children entertainment business. None of those artists are doing anything wrong by being adults. The problem isn't them. The problem is they are the only option. There is nothing under them. But for the boys it might be worse because the boys' role model vacuum didn't just empty out. It got filled. And it got filled with something darker than anything aimed at the girls. There is no big time rush for them anymore. There's no Drake and Josh. There's no Even Steven. There's no Hannah Montana. The kids' channel for boys, frankly, never recovered after Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon stopped trying. So what do little boys have now? They have whoever the algorithm hands them. And the algorithm hands them Andrew Tate. It hands them Sneeko. It hands them Aiden Ross. It hands them grown men, often grifters, telling 8-year-old boys that being kind is being weak. That vulnerability is failure. That masculinity is a contest that you have to win or you don't deserve to exist. The girls are getting concerts where adult men ask them to bark. The boys are getting podcasts where adult men tell them their entire worth is in their jawline. Different aesthetics, same problems. The training wheel celebrities, the ones who are young enough to be cool but grown enough to be safe, that role is empty for both of them. Doja Cat literally went online and asked parents to stop bringing their kids to her shows. She got dragged for it. She was right. We want kids to have someone to look up to. We just don't want anyone to actually have to be that person. So these kids aren't learning how to grow. They're learning how to copy. It's not just that kids have nowhere to go and no one to look up to. It's that being a kid is now the embarrassing option. When we were 9, the embarrassing thing was acting too old. Wearing makeup to elementary school got you teased. Bringing your dad's cologne to school got you laughed at. The shameful thing was trying to be older than you were. That has flipped completely. Now the embarrassing thing is acting your age. For girls, playing with dolls at 11 is something you hide from your friends. Watching cartoons past a certain birthday gets you looked at sideways. Not having a skincare routine at 12 is genuinely something that a kid would get clowned for at school. For boys, having a Pokemon phase at 11 is cringe. Loving Star Wars too much is cringe. Being into your weird hobbies, reading comics, building Legos, being soft, being a kind, sensitive kid who's into art and not sports. That's the thing little boys hide now. The pressure on the girls is to grow up. The pressure on the boys is to harden up. Different pressures, same lost childhood. 11-year-old boys are doing pull-up routines in their bedroom because they're scared of being called beta. They're doing jaw exercises in the mirror because looks maxing. TikTok told them that their face shape is failing them. They're memorizing Alpha Sigma Beta hierarchy the way we used to memorize Pokemon stats. That's not boys being boys. That's boys being marketed to. Childhood used to be something you outgrew. Now it's something you try to hide. And the kids feel it. They are not stupid. These kids aren't ahead. They're just exposed too early. There's a big difference because when you skip the phase where you're supposed to figure yourself out, the awkward years, the cringe phase, the what are you wearing phase, the why is your hair like that phase, you don't come out the other side more mature. You come out more confused. Identity isn't built in a Sephora aisle. It's not built in the gym at age 11. It's built in the awkward. That is not a kid in a hurry. That's a kid that got skipped over and noticed. And yes, parents, we have to talk about us. I'll be gentle, but I'm not going to be soft. We are in this too. Not because we don't care, but because we are trying to protect them the wrong way. There is a video of a mom explaining she had to buy her 9-year-old a $30 Stanley cup because the other girl in 4th grade made fun of her Walmart cup. Mom's argument was, what was I supposed to do? Let her get bullied? Or the dad explaining he had to buy his 4th grade son a $200 Jordan because the other boys in his class were wearing them. And he didn't want him to be the kid in the off-brand sneaker. I get it. The instinct is real and it's loving. No parent wants their kid to be the target. But the math of that decision, multiplied by every parent making the same call, is how you get a 4th grade class where the social currency is a $40 tumbler, or a pair of $200 shoes on a kid who's still growing half a size every 6 months. And just like that, childhood turns into a competition nobody signed up for. We are barring our way into the problem we say we hate. Every time we hand a phone to a 6-year-old to keep her quiet. Every time we put a tablet in front of a toddler so we can finish a call. Every time we let a 9-year-old pick the store at the mall, and the store is Sephora or the cologne counter. Every time we buy the concert ticket without listening to the album. Every time we set up the gaming PC in the bedroom with no supervision and let an 8-year-old be in voice chat with strangers all night. Every time we hand over the algorithm and don't check what it's feeding them. Nobody wants to be the buzzkill parent, I know. The buzzkill parent is the kid who gets left out, and that hurts to watch. But somebody has to be the adult, because the brand won't protect them. The platform won't protect them. If the celebrities and the streamers and the influencers can't be expected to protect them, then the only adult left in the room with these kids are us. That's the entire list. If you want your kid to have a childhood, somebody has to actually give them one. And that somebody has to be a real human who can say no and mean it and absorb the eye roll and be okay being the lame one for a few years. That's the job. It's always been the job. We just had more help doing it. Here's the part where I tell you it's not hopeless, because it isn't. Schools are starting to ban phones, real policies in real districts. The research on what social media does to a developing brain is finally loud enough that lawmakers are paying attention. Parents are forming pacts. No phones until 8th grade. No Instagram until high school. The pendulum is starting to swing back. And kids, real kids, boys and girls, not the algorithm version of them, are still in there. Every time you see a 12-year-old girl still excited about dolls and toys and other kid stuff, that's a kid who got the room they needed. Every time you see a little boy still excited about a Lego set, still reading comics, still allowed to be soft and weird and uncool, that's a kid somebody protected. Somebody, somewhere, gave them that room. You can be that somebody. It doesn't take a policy. It doesn't take a movement. It takes one adult deciding that the kid in front of them gets to be 9 for an entire year before they're 10. That's the whole assignment. The kids didn't grow up too fast. We just stopped showing up to the part of growing up that's slow. If something about this feels off to you, it's because it is. Because the world around them did. If you want your kid back, you might have to go get them. That's it for me today. If this hits, you know what to do. Like, comment, share with a parent in your life who needs it. It's been your girl Rene here. I'll see you guys in my next video.